This hitch installation guide is for a Dodge Grand Caravan. You'll need the tools seen here to complete this installation.
Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Ed Trojanowski and we're going to be installing a hitch on a Dodge Grand Caravan. So you'll notice on this hitch that we have 5 attachment points. We have 2 on the passenger side, and then on the driver's side we're going to have 3 attachment points. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lower the exhaust here so that we can gain access and give us a little more room to the frame attachment points here. Go ahead and do that now. We're going to remove the exhaust hanger bolt and using a 13mm socket. And that must be a really long bolt. Okay, now that we have our exhaust loosened up, we can go ahead and move it out of the way a little bit so we can reach the existing hardware that we're going to pull out of the frame here. We're going to be using a 15mm socket and an 18mm socket. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that we've got the forward bolt out of the frame, we're going to go ahead and remove the rear bolt, and we're going to switch to our 15mm socket here. Let's go ahead and remove that. Okay. And that's the most rear bolt. Let's go ahead and move over to the driver's side and get those 3 taken out. The driver's side is going to be nearly identical to the passenger side. We're going to be using 3 existing bolts. So let's go ahead and take those down. We're going to use an 18mm socket and a 15mm socket, just like the passenger side. We now have removed all 5 existing bolts out of the frame, 3 on the driver's side, 2 on the passenger side. Let's go ahead and get this hitch into position. So we're going to go ahead and put the hitch in place. And the way this hitch was designed, it's pretty wide and a little heavy, so we're going to need an extra set of hands to get it up there. Once we do get the hitch up in place, we're going to put 1 bolt on each side, hand tight, that'll support the hitch and allow us to put the other 3 bolts in. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see that the hitch is being supported by 1 bolt on each side. We just kind of hand tightened it. So now we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the bolts in. We got 2 more to do on the driver's side, 1 more to do on the passenger side. And then once we get those snugged up with our hand, we'll go ahead and torque them down. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that we have all bolts hand tight, we're going to go ahead and torque them down. Our 12mm bolts are going to be torqued to 86 pounds, and our 10mm bolts are going to be torqued to 48. Okay, now that we have the 12mm bolt torqued on the forward side, we're going to go ahead and move to the rear and do the 10mm bolt. And now that we have all of our bolts torqued down, we're gonna go ahead and put the exhaust back up, putting our 10mm bolt back into the exhaust hanger bracket here. And that's it for our hitch install. As you can see, it looks really nice. The cross tube is really well hidden behind your bumper here. And of course, you are going to see the 2-inch receiver. We got 2 inches by 2 inches here. This hitch does have a 5/8 pin and clip hole. The pin and clip hole is going to secure your ball mount, cargo carrier, mobility carrier, bike rack. You can also use it for a locking mechanism as well. We've got our 2 safety chain loops here. These are for attaching when you're towing a trailer. You'll attach your chains here, your safety chains. And that does it for this hitch for our Dodge Grand Caravan.
Once installed, the measurements for this hitch are as follows: 12.5 inches from the top of the receiver tube to the ground, 2 inches from the end of the receiver tube to the end of the bumper, and 4.5 inches from the pinhole to the end of the bumper. To learn more about the products seen in this video, or to schedule an installation by a U-Haul Hitch professional, visit us online today at uhaulhitches.com.